Hello everyone, I'm Xiong Fei, a student from Nanjing University of Science and Technology. My presentation is on hydrogen-oxygen rotating detonation engine with hollow and annular combustors. This is the outline of my presentation, and the first part is the introduction. Rotating detonation engine has attracted increased attention due to its high noise efficiency, faster reaction rate, and compact engine configuration. Hydrogen-air rotating detonation has been extensively discussed. Compared with hydrogen-air, hydrogen-oxygen has higher reactivity and more energy release, which can be used as an ideal propellant for high-performance rocket engines. Due to the extremely high chemical reactivity, a hydrogen-oxygen mixture is prone to pre-ignition before detonation, so it is challenging to perform rotating detonation. It is of greater significance to further explore the propagation characteristics of hydrogen-oxygen rotating detonation waves. There are recent research progress in hydrogen-oxygen RDE. Normally, the RDE has inner and outer walls, which form an annular combustor. Recently, research started to investigate a new type of RDE without the inner wall, which was called hollow RDE. Due to the lack of the inner wall, the weight of the RDE is reduced, and the cooling system of the engine can be simplified. There are recent research progress in hollow RDE experiment. Besides the experiment, some numerical simulations were investigated to study the flow field in the hollow RDE. It is still unclear what the performance of hydrogen-oxygen detonation with a no premixed hollow RDE, what's the difference between annular and hollow models, and how it is affected by the engine size. The second part is mathematical and physical model. We solved NS equations for the compressible matter component and reactive flow, including the equations of mass, momentum, energy, and spatial mass fluctuation, as well as the ideal gas equation of the state, considering the no premixed injection of reactant and the interaction with the wall in the three-dimensional numerical simulation. The SADDS mode is used in this study. It is a combination of runs and LES methods. A major part of the attached boundary layer is modeled by runs, while LES is only applied in the separated flow regions. The numerical software is RY low central form, based on open form code, which has been validated by extensive numeric tests of gaseous RDE simulations. A detailed chemical mechanism of the 9 species and the 19 steps for hydrogen, oxygen, and the ignition delay time and the detonation speed are highly coincident with the experiment or theoretic values. In this study, the simulated trample out diameter included 20, 40, and 60 millimeters. The figure shows the adapted physical models of annular RDE and hollow RDE tramples with out diameter of 60 millimeters. To reveal the engine size effect, the size of the trample out diameter of 20 and 40 millimeters are reduced to 1/3 and 1/2 of the adapted model respectively. Table 1 lists the main simulation conditions adapted in this study. After the detonation waves propagate stably, the mass flow rate remains unchanged, and the global equivalence ratio keeps around 0.5. It is noted less ambient pressure is set to 1 par. to simulate the vacuum experiment experiment. A no reflecting outflow boundary is imposed on the outlet surface. No slip and adiabatic conditions are applied to all walls, forming the computing domes. As can be seen, detonation parameters and Faraday field are generally similar in two grades, since a long computing time is required to obtain a stable progression of hydrogen-oxygen detonation waves. The grid size of 0.2 mm is employed in this study based on accessible computational cost and reasonable accuracy. Next, we will present the results and discussion. Two combustor configurations and 3 angel sites are simulated. Overall, cases 2 to 6 all obtained safe short-term detonation waves propagating mostly with the co-direction multi-wave mode except case 4. While case 1 failed and exhibited diffraction mode due to small angel size, the equivalence ratio keeps around 0.5 in all cases. Firstly, we compared the difference in the Faraday field of the two configurations. As shown in the figures, there are 4 waves in the annular model and 2 waves in the hollow one. In the hollow RDE, due to the absence of the inner wall, the combustors are significantly increased, resulting in a decrease in chamber average static pressure, the injection of the reactant gas fast, leading to a high detonation height in the hollow RDE. It is noticed that the reactant in the annular RDE form a thick and low-speed diffraction layer. For the hollow RDE, the higher the flash gas filling height, the more pronounced the expression of hydrogen towards the combustor. As shown in the figures, the upstream oblique shock wave in the annular RDE can propagate back to the oxygen plenum, while the shock waves in the hollow one can only propagate back to the sludge of the combustor. The average peak pressure of the detonation wave in the annular RDE is higher than the hollow one, and the max number near the hollow RDE sludge can reach 1.8, while the annular one is only 1.37. High Mach number and low detonation wave makes the shock waves unable to propagate back to the oxygen plenum in the hollow RDE. Considering the complexity of the gas flow in the hollow RDE, the figures below show the distribution contours of gas parameters for the x equals 0 and y equals 0 slices. There is a recirculation zone surrounded by counter lines with an axial velocity of 0 at the combustor inlet near the detonation front. The farther away from the outer wall, the more hydrogen is not consumed by the detonation. The residual hydrogen is carried by combustor products and exhausted around the outlet direction. As shown in the figures, the mixing efficiency in the reactant zone of the hollow RDE is lower than the annular one, and the overall hydrogen content in hollow RDE is higher than the annular one. The hydrogen distribution at the outlet is uniform, and the content is small in the annular RDE, while the hydrogen distribution at the outlet is uneven, and there is a large area of residue in the hollow one due to uneven mixing. the proportion of unreacted fuel is higher and the combustion efficiency is lower in the hollow RDE. Now we discuss the influence of size effect. First is the annular RDE, as shown in the figures. The ratio of the length to the height of the detonation wave is similar. Based on previous experiment search, K is the ratio of the length to the height, and they found that the value of K is roughly constant for annual combustor involving the gaseous oxidation, namely K varies from 5 to 9. Since the value of K is almost constant, when the angel size increases, the length increases and the height will also increase accordingly. When the height exceeds the critical value, a new wave will be generated, as shown in the figures. In case 3, excessively feeding height and sharply deflection of the contact surface led to the generation of a new detonation wave, and completing the transition from 3 waves to 4 waves. As shown in the figures, the average axial velocity of the reactant increases with the increase of the angel size. Compared with case 4, the outlet temperature is higher in case 5 and case 6, and the difference in propagation mode is the main reason. As the outlet area becomes larger, the outlet pressure decreases with the increase of angel size. To investigate the propulsive performance, a series of parameters are calculated, as shown in the figures. With the increase of angel size, the thrust increase and the specific impulse decrease. The thrust of the whole RDE is greater than the annual one, while the specific impulse of the two configurations is close. The detonation speed in hollow RDE is higher than the annual one, but is less affected by angel size. The connected angel proportion in the axial direction in the hollow RDE is significantly lower than the annual one. Finally, we present the conclusion. In this study, 3-dimensional no premixed hydrogen and oxygen rotating detonation wave is numerically simulated based on open form code. Comparison between annual and hollow RDE, influence of size effect, and the propulsive performance are analyzed. The results show that, compared with annual RDE, the detonation wave in the hollow RDE has a large height, faster speed, and fewer numbers. In the hollow RDE, high Mach number and low detonation pressure make the upstream oblique shock wave unable to propagate back to the oxygen plenum, and due to uneven mixing, the combustion efficiency is lower. The fervent deflection of the flash reactant occurs before detonation, which makes it easy to produce new detonation waves in the annual RDE. The average axial velocity of the reactant increases with the increases of the angel size. With the increase of the angel size, the thrust increases and the specific impulse decreases. The kinetic energy proportion in the axial direction in the hollow RDE is significantly lower than the annual one. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention.